Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new video. My name is Siiroth, and today I'm going to be speculating about the roster in Mario Sports Superstars. This is one of the upcoming Nintendo games I'm most excited for at the moment, so I'm going to produce more coverage videos about the game. This video is going to be at the character roster and comparing it to previous ones seen in Mario Sports games. I'll be looking at the size of the roster, estimating how many more characters could be added, using the other Mario Sports games as a reference, and predicting what characters could be added. I'm not going to be speculating on stats or anything in this video, because we don't necessarily know how that works yet. We only know 3 character classes and no specifics, but when we get more information, I will be making a video about stats in depth. For now, let's look at the currently known roster. There are 2 main sections here that characters fall into: main playable characters and supporting characters. According to the Super Mario Wiki, the main playable characters side includes Mario, Luigi who is a balance type, Peach, Daisy who is a technique type, Yoshi, Birdo, Wario, Waluigi, Bowser, Bowser Jr., Boo, Rosalina, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Baby Mario, and Baby Luigi. The supporting characters side includes the Red Toad, Green Toad, Purple Toad, Penguin Blue Toad, Flying Squirrel Yellow Toad, Yellow Shy Guy, Green Shy Guy, Blue Shy Guy, Green Koopa Troopa, Blue Koopa Troopa, Fire Bro, Green Magic Koopa, Yellow Magic Koopa, Stone Spikes, Goombas, Boom Boom, Pom Pom which is confirmed to be Power type, and finally the Green Paratroopa which is confirmed to be Technique type. These 2 character classes are very different in that it seems that the supporting characters cannot be used in the golf, tennis, and horse racing modes, which makes sense considering that those sports don't require several characters for you to use. The most is 2 in tennis. Supporting characters have their uses in soccer and baseball, where in soccer it looks like you choose one type of supporting character to fill in your team. Let me explain. When beginning a soccer match, you choose 2 main characters to play with, and your goalie is either Pom Pom or Boom Boom. The other characters on your team are only represented by blue dots though. You could change the formation of your team, but are you allowed to individually change the supporting characters that fill in those dots? I don't think so, as every supporting character on your team seen so far is the exact same, most likely for the sake of simplicity in the game in terms of identifying what characters are actually yours. I feel it will be similar to Super Mario Strikers, where you choose one type of character to fill out the other slots in your team. Who knows for sure, but it does seem like in the baseball mode you will be able to choose your team freely at least. In the trailer, we see a mix of generic and supporting characters playing in the mode. This makes me feel that every character will have unique stats in this mode, similar to previous Mario baseball games. You seem to be able to place any type of character at any position, as Donkey Kong and the Fire Bro in the trailer are both seen at the catcher position. I'm only unsure about the pitcher, as only main characters are shown pitching in the baseball mode. The baseball mode has been invoking a sense of realism though, like most of the sports in the game for that matter. In actual baseball, and in previous Mario baseball games, the pitcher gets tired so you would have to switch them out. And if this feature is in the game, I think that you would be able to let any character pitch. This only makes sense, and I think it will be the case. I feel that overall it will be very similar to the previous games in the Mario Baseball series. My point out of all of this is that supporting characters can only be used in few modes and only in depth in one mode, because main characters take care of all the other roles needed. So when predicting the roster, it makes sense to consider the differences between the 2 types, where each can be used, and how they can be used. When adding main characters, which we currently have 16 of, I'm going to use the recent Mario Tennis and Golf games for reference, because main characters are the only playable options for those as far as we know. To determine the estimated number, I will use the number in the middle of the 2 roster sizes of Mario Golf World Tour and Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, because every character in those games are equally playable main characters. World Tour had 20 and Ultra Smash had 16, so I will use 18 as an estimate for this prediction video. As for why I didn't consider the Mario Baseball and Strikers games, this is because their rosters are made up of a mix of what Mario Sports Superstars considers to be main and supporting characters, and while the tennis and golf games do too, there are very few supporting characters in those 2 games compared to the Strikers and baseball games, if that makes sense. Now moving on to how the supporting characters will be determined for the soccer mode. Because I speculate that in Mario Sports Superstars, the team selection for soccer will be in a similar way to Super Mario Strikers, in that you can't customize the supporting characters individually, I feel that it will have a similar amount of team options. but not with the original Mario Strikers as it had 4. I'm talking about the Mario Strikers Charged game that had 8 options. Why do I consider this number more likely for the soccer mode? Because in Mario Sports Superstars, there's an 8-person tournament mode. Having 8 different team options makes sense. Even if you don't get to choose what characters you want on your team, which I find is unlikely, I still think there will be 8 options for variety. 5 are known so far, being the Koopa Troopas, Goombas, Spikes, Shy Guys, and Toads. It wouldn't be necessary to have every single supporting character as an option, and in terms of how many there would be in total for the baseball mode specifically, I think we could use the tournament idea again. Including alternate forms, which are their own characters for team options in Mario baseball games, there are 18 known supporting characters. But these aren't the only ones that make up the team like I mentioned earlier. Main playable characters are team options, and while it looks like, similarly to previous Mario baseball games, you must have one on your team, you can use a mix of both on your team. Assuming every tournament member has a unique team of 9 characters, that would create a total of 72 characters that would be playable options. In Mario Super Sluggers, there were 71 characters, making this game have one more than that for the baseball mode. Currently, we know of 34 characters that can be used, meaning that we have a lot to predict to get to the 72. With all of that information stated, we could finally start predicting characters. I'm sorry that took so long, but I didn't want you guys to think I was just pulling numbers out of nowhere. So, we have 16 known main characters, and we have to get to 18. We have several options here, but I think one of them will be Dry Bowser. Dry Bowser was playable in Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, as well as several other recent Mario sports games, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him playable in Mario Sports Superstars. I feel he was a fairly obvious pick, so I decided to say him first. Considering some options for others, there are characters like King Boo, because if the regular Boo is a main character, why isn't King Boo? There are other options though, like Dixie Kong, PD Piranha, and even King K. Rool, but I think that King Boo out of all of them would be the most likely for a main playable character spot. I know the characters I chose seem to be like clones of Bowser and Boo respectively, but they are different enough that I could justify putting them both here. And while, like I said earlier, I won't be talking about stats today, stats could be the definitive factor in differentiating between those characters. Now I'll move on to the supporting characters, and before I speculate about the 3 remaining teams for soccer, I'm going to fill out the entire 72 character roster as to put the options for the soccer teams out there first. We have 36 spots left, and I'm going to begin with new additions. First of all, I would add Blooper, Monty Mole, Dry Bones, Wiggler, PD Piranha, Paragoomba, Toadette, Dixie Kong, Cranky Kong, Charging Chuck, Blue Noki, Blue Pianta, Green Sprixie, Critter, the 7 Koopalings, Nabbit, and Luma. 13 spots are left, and those go to alternate forms, being Hammer Bro, Boomerang Bro, Ice Bro, Red Shy Guy, Blue Magikoopa, Red Magikoopa, Red Koopa Troopa, Red Paratroopa, Blue Paratroopa, Yellow Pianta, Red Noki, and finally Dark Bones. Now I'm going to go over some brief explanations of these choices. Some of my new additions may be unlikely, like King K. Rool, who hasn't been playable in a game since Super Sluggers, but along with the Critters, because of this fact, I think it is a possibility that they will come back to fill out the roster for this game. Bandai Namco, one of the developers for Mario Sports Superstars, developed the Mario Super Sluggers as well, and because these characters were last playable in Super Sluggers, they may be brought back. I only ended up choosing the green Sprixie as there wasn't enough space for all of them, and the green one appeared in Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. Some of the alternate forms were chosen because some alternate forms are already in, and because alternate forms is a thing, I decided to include an alternate form for the Blue Noki, Blue Pianta, and Dry Bones, because all of them had multiple alternate forms in previous Mario baseball games, and because the space was beginning to get limited, I thought it would be balanced to include one of each. Also, Dark Bones is one of the coolest characters ever. All in all, I think this is a solid roster, and I would definitely appreciate your feedback, as always, for some characters that I could add or remove from this roster. These are just my predictions. Next, I will try to determine the other 3 soccer team options. Again, to reiterate, the options we currently know of are Koopa Troopas, Toads, Spikes, Goombas, and Shy Guys. To determine what will fill out the teams, I'm looking at what enemy options there were in the 2 Mario Strikers games, and the ones that aren't confirmed are Hammer Bros, Birdos, Critters, Boos, Dry Bones, and Monty Moles. Right off the bat, we could discount Birdos and Boos because they are main playable characters already. I don't think critters are likely because they are a bit too intense looking compared to other characters seen already, if that makes sense. In Strikers, every character looked intimidating because of the style, but the characters in Mario Sports Superstars don't look that way. They look passive like most Mario characters, and critters don't in my opinion. By not including critters, that would leave us with our 3, right? Well, there are more options I will be considering. Charging Chucks are one of them. Like I mentioned in a previous video, the Charging Chucks seem to be being brought back into relevancy. I wouldn't be surprised if they appear in Mario Sports Superstars and even as characters for soccer teams. I consider them more likely than Hammer Bros at least. I was also considering Lumas and Nokis, but honestly I think that the 3 most likely options for team players are Charging Chucks, Dry Bones, and Monty Moles. They all fit the theme pretty well, and they would all be able to play soccer realistically. So to wrap things up, I'm going to recite what I predict to be the final roster in an organized way. First, the main characters, with Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Yoshi, Birdo, Wario, Waluigi, Bowser, Bowser Jr., Dry Bowser, King Boo, Boo, Rosalina, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Baby Mario, and Baby Luigi. And now the supporting characters with Red Toad, Green Toad, Purple Toad, Penguin Blue Toad, Flying Squirrel Yellow Toad, Toadette, Goomba, Paragoomba, Red Shy Guy, Yellow Shy Guy, Green Shy Guy, Blue Shy Guy, Green Koopa, Red Koopa, Blue Koopa, Green Paratroopa, Red Paratroopa, Blue Paratroopa, Hammer Bro, Fire Bro, Boomerang Bro, Ice Bro, Blooper, Dry Bones, Dark Bones, Blue Noki, Red Noki, Blue Pianta, Yellow Pianta, King K. Rool, Critter, Wiggler, Monty Mole, Blue Magikoopa, Red Magikoopa, Yellow Magikoopa, Green Magikoopa, Stone Spikes, Luma, Nabbit, Green Sprixie, Petey Piranha, Dixie Kong, Cranky Kong, Charging Chuck, Larry, Wendy, Morton, Roy, Lemmy, Ludwig, Iggy, Pom Pom, and finally Boom Boom. This is my prediction roster. I could be entirely off, but these are the characters I think are most likely to be playable in the game, with statistics to back up my opinions. If you guys want to see me make more content like this, mainly analysis and prediction focused, or more content about Mario Sports Superstars in general, be sure to leave a comment below. Again, I would love to see some characters you think will be in the game in the comments too, and you never know, I might just make a video about your ideas. Sharing the video would also be appreciated. A lot of hard work went into it, so just sharing a link on social media or something like that would be very appreciated. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with a new video.